broadband, unfavorable policies, high taxation of imported internet-enabled gadgets and devices.
So we are urging all players to collaborate and work with one another, work with government, work with the private sector to make sure that the digital system is safe, secure and affordable. Because at the end of the day, there can't be financial inclusion if there is no accessibility, affordability and availability.
Inadequate access to the bandwidth that has limited the access to internet itself. And so the procurement or the purchase of what amount of bandwidth has been expensive.
These are concerns, but the state of affairs and demand for data are driving internet uptake and could eventually lower costs.
If we have few users online, then the maintenance of this network is all going to come onto these few users. So we want to bring more users online. We have so many youths in this country, and we're saying if everyone is hooked onto, the internet, then we'll be able to have a high turnover of services being engaged on. We'll have revenue generated out of the services that they're being hooked onto. Right now, it is not the case. So that is why you find the costs high. Okay. So now, how do we get more people to get online? They need devices. They need a phone. They need a laptop. But these gadgets are expensive. So we're saying, if we can have subsidies on these devices or taxes waived and we get more people online, then we'll eventually get the cost of internet down. But there are certain steps that are being taken. For example, we have a World Bank loan that was approved recently by Parliament to extend internet connectivity. When we get connectivity extended to the rest of the country and people have access, we'll get more people hooked, because there are some areas that don't have internet.
But government is committed to bridging the gender divide in the digital space, which is in line with this year's International Women's Day theme, Digital Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality.
The advice I give to the girl child out there is to believe in themselves. I think I always have motivational placards. Yeah, motivational placards in my office for anyone who visits. There are many more. Some of them are, you have to do it right now. Otherwise, if you don't seize the moment and opportunity now, then it is gone. So I urge all girls that, I am here, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of ICT, a woman who has been raised as a girl and has done sciences, but it is about believing in yourself and that you can do it.
Statistics show that once broadband penetration reaches a critical mass of more than 30%, it significantly impacts on job creation, gross domestic product GDP, broadening of educational opportunities, rural development, and enhancement of public service delivery. Dennis Sigoa for UBC News. Total Energies E&P Uganda is investing $12.1 million in building competent human resource capacity in the oil and gas sector. The multi-energy company has inducted 200 Ugandan youth into its Tilenga Academy program. Total Energies Exploration and Production Uganda has unveiled 200 Ugandan youth selected from the Tilenga Massive Open Online Courses MOOC to join the Tilenga Academy program. The initiative seeks to enhance national content.
I said congratulations, but I would like to say that it's just the beginning for you. And you have in front of you 2.5 difficult years to get certified and to digest all the skills and behaviors that will be needed to conduct, I would say, your operations.
The selected candidates will receive a 2.5 years theoretical training in oil and gas, production, maintenance, as well as health, safety and environment. Uganda Petroleum Institute Chigumba is an implementing partner of the program.
And then we will have the next 6 months where our local staff at the institute will be working with expatriates from the industry to now train these learners in their core areas of specialization. After 1 year, they will go to oil and gas sites wherever Total will deem fit and to have a practical experience in the field.
National content development is emphasized by various stakeholders in this sector as a means of achieving shared prosperity for Uganda. According to analysts, in-country value can be attained through employment of locals, local supplier development, support to education institutions, transfer of technology, knowledge and skills, among others.
We need to take this opportunity very seriously. We need to focus, and just to let you know that it may be hard to reach to the end if we do not focus from the beginning, because the ultimate goal of this program is to ensure that some people, if not all of you, are employed at the end of that day. They're not just training you, but they have the purpose of employing you. But for them to make the decision to employ you, you also have to show that you're actually employable.
Among the beneficiary students are women who make 23% of the cohort.
I'm a biotechnologist, so I expect to incorporate my knowledge of biotechnology into the sector and also learn more about the oil. And I'm so happy that I'm going to be working with Total Energies.
While at campus, we got a couple of geologists that visited our school and encouraged us to take on such fields, because by then the discovery was made of the oil and gas, and these people were passionate about it, and I took on the inspiration from them.
The Tilenga project is an upstream development with a capacity of 190,000 barrels of oil per day. The project is part of the Lake Albert development. Having a strong and competent human resource is obviously very important in Uganda's quest to achieve the 2025 oil production deadline. Dennis Sigoa for UBC News in Kampala. On matters of illicit trade, public and private sector entities have committed to walk the talk in curbing illicit trade in Uganda. Key players in the trade and industry sector say the country is a hotbed of illicit trade. In addition to causing revenue loss and exposing citizens to harmful products, illicit trade affects legitimate business sectors. Let's have a look.
Poor enforcement, lack of awareness, porous borders, limited public and private sector collaboration, and the legal regime are blamed for the worsening state of illicit trade in Uganda. The private sector umbrella body and the tax-paying business entities are crying foul and want more active approaches spearheaded by government to stop the vice.
Illicit trade, whether it's in production, trade, distribution of goods, products, it's really a creeping danger to our economy. It is a threat to our health, it's a threat to our economy, it's a threat to our revenue, and it's a potential threat even to our security, because we do know that some people use illicit trade to raise resources, cleanse money, to be able to do bad things.
In a stakeholder dialogue in Kampala, key public and private sector entities aligned with trade committed to walk the talk in fighting illicit trade.
People are going blind because of illicit warages and gins, which are made in very, very dangerous conditions. Now, the challenge is that interplay between ignorance, poverty, and disease comes at play. People are poor, so they are vulnerable to buying cheaper options. Because of ignorance, they are consuming things they don't know how harmful they are. And in the process, when your organs are destroyed, you spend more money in the hospital because of treatment.
Let us join hands. If I report someone that is doing a wrong thing, why dare you report me back? And you make me vulnerable. This is very dangerous. It is the work of public servants. You take a matter of people doing wrong things, you find them reporting you to the victims or to the suspects. This is very dangerous. People are killing, people are not taking anything because they know you are blocking their illicit trade. We should all sober up to know that we all deserve good service.
In Uganda, most of the illicit traders are informal and operate in non-gazetted areas such as buckets, homesteads, garages, and godowns. According to Uganda National Bureau of Standards, their informality makes them untraceable and risky to consumers and to the economy.
In most cases, they do not meet the minimum quality standards, and therefore they are not fit for purpose, and therefore they have no value for money. So meaning that if you are going to be selling these products to people who are already poor, for these products that have not achieved the objective or satisfy their needs, and then you want them to frequently buy because they don't last longer, and then you are basically putting these people in the what? In the poverty cycle.
Recent statistics show that 65% of players in Uganda's alcohol industry are operating illegally. Some of these alcoholic beverages are linked to rampant debts, injuries, and visual impairment.
Illicit alcohol has grown at a rate of 9% every year for the last 5 years. That's the compounded aggregate growth rate, 9%, which means that every year, if we were producing about 1.2 million hectoliters as the legitimate people, what is 9? Call it, round it off to 10%. The other guys are growing faster than us. They're growing faster than us, unchecked.
Charlotte Muge for UBC News.
The National Social Security Fund, in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation, have awarded Uganda shillings 4.8 billion to 66 women entrepreneurs through their High Innovator program. Their businesses were assessed through a criterion that included potential for scalability, sustainability, good governance, and impact on the community.
The High Innovator is an initiative that supports small and growing businesses by extending seed funding and building the capacity of entrepreneurship to unlock affordable patient capital. This year, the program focused on only women-led businesses with an aim of creating an ecosystem where they can flourish.
Most of our women kind of will let the man go ahead. And part of what we've been trying to help them do, no. In business, you need to be as aggressive as the man. Because when that customer is coming to you, that customer is not asking, I'll buy from you because you're a woman. No. You better have a good product, but the service had better go, then you'll have that product.
The entrepreneurs were trained in business management skills, financial literacy, compliance, and marketing.
A lot of women are suffering from what you would say self-confidence. They have the ideas, they know their businesses, but they don't feel confident enough to actually come and present their businesses. And so what we did differently was to create a cohort that actually makes them feel comfortable by running an actual women cohort. But also when we were running the boot camps, we were able to take them through sessions that were inclusive and making them feel more confident.
The 66 businesses who received 75 million Uganda shillings each were assessed by their potential for scalability, sustainability, good governance, and the impact on the community.
Potential for impact. Will it make a difference among Ugandans? Number 2, can it be scaled? Can it grow? Number 3, will it be profitable in the end? Because when it's profitable, it will be sustainable. So those standards are the same.
Majority of the winning entrepreneurs will use the funding to scale up their products and obtain certification.
It has given us more empowerment to even go further and look out for other funders, because we feel we are much ready to tackle them, because our houses are now in order.
What you give to a woman to do, they will multiply it, they will triple it, they will do whatever it takes to make it, to excel.
The beneficiary businesses were from the agriculture, energy, health, nutrition, real estate, education, and fashion sectors. Charlotte Muge and Juma Nsamba for UBC News.
I think it is an opportunity for this country to expand our export promotion and also expand the business partners that we are working with in the region. We are privileged that this idea has again come for the first time, and it is going to happen in Uganda.
In our corporate scene, the public is cautioned against using eye care products such as sunglasses and spectacles that are not prescribed by eye care professionals. The appeal was made at the launch of Optica Limited operations in Kampala. Optica is the largest optical retail company in the East African region. Let's have a look. Optical problems are on the rise globally. The rapid increase in optical challenges is attributed to occupations and the changing work and communication trends. According to optometrists, people are increasingly getting exposed to harmful light.
So previously we are using UV 100, but now we reached up to UV 400, which is coming with the blue light filters. So most of the gadgets, when you are using for long hours, you are inviting the dryness on the eye because we don't blink oftenly. When you don't blink, you don't have the tears on the cornea. That's how we are damaging the eye.
Being healthy doesn't mean that you're healthy sometimes. You may not know. So it doesn't mean that because you see that, are you seeing well? Have an eye test. Get your children tested. Very, very important. Once a year. That's all.
The situation is exacerbated by the cheap and fake sunglasses that are easily accessible in the market.
You shouldn't invest in those road traffic light sunglasses at all because they don't have any protection from UVA and UVB of the sun. So this machine actually tests whether the sunglasses that you're buying does have the UV protection or not. So I'll just demonstrate one. It's taking a sunglass, and when you put it in, it shows you that you're covered up to UV 400 nanometers. So that obviously helps you protecting your eyes from the harmful UVA, UVB, UVC coming in through the eyes. Because you're damaging your eyes more by wearing those which don't have the UVA, UVB protection. You're allowing the harmful rays to enter your eye and damage your eyes over a period of long-term wearing of those products.
These concerns were raised at the launch of Optica Limited, the largest optical retail company in the East African Community region. With 2 outlets launched at Acacia and Arena malls in Kampala, the entrepreneurs are optimistic of bridging the gap in the market for quality eye care products at affordable prices.
But more importantly, we're going to go to the people who can't afford. Like I said here again, we have frames starting from 29,000 Uganda shillings. So you can imagine how many people that could not afford vision can now afford it. Like we've done in Kenya, we will also, going forward, start doing what we call outreach programs, where we will even go to the smaller towns in Uganda. We'll go to churches, for an example, or maybe go to mosques, for an example, whenever we can, and we'll do free eye testing. Absolutely free.
The general public is advised to always check with opticians in case of any eye discomfort in order to avert any possible eye disease. As we conclude the show, as usual, we have an insightful parting shot for you. And I got it from Elon Musk's Twitter account. And he writes, the best way to fight misinformation is to respond with accurate information, not censorship. Stay tuned for more entertaining, informative, and educative programs right here on UBC. Bye-bye.